Please start from the earliest date in S-122 and describe for the jury the information that's there.
Sure. So the first hit in the Safari web browser on this was a search conducted on March 25th, 2021 at 9:36:31 p.m. The body of the search states, "Will red marks turn into bruises?"
And could you please move on to the next one?
Sure. The next search is on April 1st, 2021 at 8:43:36 p.m. The search was Neptune non-emergency police.
The next one.
Next search is on April 1st, 2021 at 8:49:05 p.m. The search was Jersey Shore Medical Center.
Please move on to the next one.
The next one is a web history on April 2nd, 2021 at 3:08:37 p.m. The search was lost consciousness, sleepy and nauseous - Google search.
Please move on to the next one.
Next entry is April 2nd, 2021 at 6:10:22 p.m. The search was, can your phone be tracked in airplane mode?
The next one.
The next search was for April 2nd, 2021 at 6:10:35 p.m. for, can my car be tracked?
The next one.
The next search is on April 3rd, 2021 at 3:14:24 p.m. The search is, what causes a rise in blood sugar in white blood cells?
The next one.
Gotta rip your staple. Can't see the time. Next search was for April 3rd, 2021 at 3:55:40 p.m. The search is, could internal bleeding raise your blood sugar levels?
Please move on to the next one.
The next search is on April 3rd, 2021 at 3:56:55 p.m. The search is, how does gastrointestinal bleeding happen?
Could you please move on to the next one?
The next search is on April 3rd, 2021 at 4:28:21 p.m. The search is, how does gastrointestinal bleeding, how pong to die? It's P-O-N-G, to die.
Could you please move on to the next one?
Sure. The next search is April 3rd, 2021 at 6:55:22 p.m. The search is, can a GI bleed be slow?
Can you please move on to the next one?
Next search is going to be on April 4th, 2021. The value is McGee-Tyson Airport, parentheses, TYS, and parentheses, comma, 2055 Alcoa Highway, Alcoa, Tennessee, 37701. Positions, parentheses, 35.081033, comma, dash, 83.9938889.
Is there a next one?
There is.
Could you please tell us what it is?
Next search was on April 4th, 2021 at 9:58:03 a.m. The search was, there was a murder determined from an autopsy. How long to file charges?
Is there another one?
The last one is on April 4th, 2021 at 10:21:16 a.m. The search was, how long after an autopsy to file charges get filed?
Thank you. Now, in addition to the text, calls, emails, searches, the things you saw on Ms. Michelow's phone, were you asked to analyze other data and render any opinions?
I was.
Okay. I'd like to go through those with you now. How many tasks were asked of you?
Sure, they proposed 7 questions to me they wanted to know more details about.
Okay, when you say they.
The state and the case officer.
And did you analyze all 7 of those tasks and render opinions?
I did.
Could you please describe to me what the first task was and what you did?
Sure. The first thing they proposed to me was to identify if conversations between Christopher Gregor and Brianna Michelow were deleted from Christopher Gregor's iPhone. If messages were deleted, please identify when they were deleted.
What did you do with regard to that?
So essentially, I opened up Ms. Michelow's phone extraction, and I opened up Mr. Gregor's phone extraction. On Mr. Gregor's phone extraction, there were 0 text messages with Ms. Michelot. On Ms. Michelot's phone extraction, there were 3,466 text messages saved with a conversation with Mr. Gregor. That was the first indicator that something was deleted from Mr. Gregor's phone. I looked at the message retention settings within Mr. Gregor's iPhone and saw the value for message retention duration on his phone was set to forever, as in messages would not be deleted unless a user did it themselves. In order to kind of really dig in to make sure they were received on this device, I opened up the sms.db. That's going to be the text message database for Mr. Gregor's iPhone. And to give you an idea of what a database is or what it looks like, the best way I can describe it is to compare it to a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. The Excel spreadsheet is going to have multiple rows and columns. On Excel, you can have different pages, and essentially inside the database, there's going to be different tables. These tables cross-reference with what's known as the primary key, where you can search additional data from different tables by referencing the primary key ID of an entry. Databases will generally run sequentially, as in they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If there's gaps in the sequence, it's indicative that content is no longer present on the device. Whether that means it was automated or automatically deleted by the phone itself, or if a user might have gone in and deleted the entry. So in this case, what I did is I opened up just 6 random messages from Ms. Gregor's phone that were sent to Mr. Gregor's phone. I compared the native timestamp of when those messages were sent from her phone, and I corresponded that with the text message database on Mr. Gregor's phone. And during that, I identified a sequence gap of approximately 7 messages, which would be consistent with entries that would have been there from Ms. Michelot's phone. I repeated that again, picking a random message, searching Mr. Gregor's iPhone's text message database, and identified that the time of a sent message from Ms. Michelot's phone was consistent with a missing entry from Mr. Gregor's phone. Last thing I did is I checked to make sure that Ms. Gregor's contact was not blocked at the time when I received the phone, and her phone contact was not blocked.
Sorry, can I stop you? Do you mean Ms. Brianna Michelot?
I do, yes.
Okay.
So Ms. Michelot's phone number was not blocked by Mr. Gregor's iPhone. So based off this, seeing as there were missing gaps in his text message database, consistent with messages that were sent from her phone, it's my opinion that Mr. Gregor deleted the text message conversations with him and Ms. Michelot on his phone. I have no way to tell you when those messages were deleted.
And that's the opinion that you rendered with regard to task 1.
It was.
And were you able to print out all of the text correspondence between Ms. Michelot and the defendant from Ms. Michelot's extraction?
I did.
Approximately how many pages was that?
880.
So 880 pages of text messages were gone from the defendant's phone.
That's correct.
What was the next task that you were asked to complete?
So when the case officer was reviewing the phone extraction, they notified there was really no messages sent or received to the device between the afternoon or evening of April 2nd of 2021 until approximately 2 o'clock on April 3rd of 2021. Their primary goal was to identify if the phone was either shut off or what the status of the phone was during that time frame.
And what did you do with regard to that second request?
Sure. So the first place I really went to was, it's called the KnowledgeC.db database. KnowledgeC at the time was mostly like an event logging feature of an iPhone tracking different activities going on that device. I looked at the device being unlocked, and I could see that his device was unlocked multiple times between the hours of approximately 7 p.m. until 7 p.m. on April 2nd until 1 p.m. on April 3rd. In addition to looking at the KnowledgeC logs for device being unlocked and locked, I went to what's known as the routine D or cache.sqlite. This database is going to be where your phone is storing what's known as significant location data. Significant location data is going to be data that an iPhone is going to use to help with predictive traffic routing or to help set memories in your photographs. During this time frame from the evening of April 2nd until the afternoon of April 3rd. There were approximately 60,000 GPS fixes. GPS fix essentially being a ping for where that phone was. These logs will not generate if the phone is powered off. And I can identify that the phone could be tracked all the way from New Jersey down to the southwestern portion of Arkansas. And the last thing I did to review this was I went to check the actual airplane mode status. Within the Knowledge database, I specifically searched for the airplane mode flag, and I could see the phone was placed in and taken out of airplane mode several times during that evening. The most notable being the phone was placed in airplane mode on April 2nd at 6:38 p.m., and it was not taken out of airplane mode until 2:13 p.m. on April 3rd.